We're Wild on the Go in Ecola State Park, just north of Cannon Beach on the Oregon coast.
The road out here is not one of my favorites. It's about a 3-mile drive, very twisty, turny, and just barely wide enough for two-way traffic.
Yeah, we're going to take the Clatsop Loop Trail today. It's about a little over 2.5-mile loop. Part of it goes up an old road, I think maybe they used during World War II. And then on the way back, we're going to take the trail that kind of flirts with the actual ridgeline of the coast.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting things on this trail. There's a hiker camp up at the top. There's an old World War II bunker, radar station remains, and then you can get a great view out to the Tillamook Lighthouse, which is about 1.5 miles out in the ocean. So, should be a great hike.
Yeah, stay with us. This is going to be fun.
The trail starts from the Indian Beach parking lot. Absolutely beautiful beach.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. We parked there. It's an overlook, and it's the site of a lot of very popular movies, some of which you may have watched or at least heard of, like Point Break and Twilight, Goonies, Kindergarten Cop, and they're all basically been filmed right there on the Indian Beach and maybe as far as Crescent Beach, but I don't think any of them were directly filmed at Cannon Beach,
No.
where most people think they were, but because of that quintessential shot of Haystack Rock all the time, people mistakenly believe that they were filmed on Cannon Beach, but Indian Beach is the place.
Yeah, so this trail right off, very uphill.
Yeah.
Quite a steep grade.
It's hard to tell on camera, but maybe our huffing and puffing will tell the story a little bit, but it's probably a good, I don't know, 25+% grade. and it's going to go all the way up for probably 1.25 miles.
Yeah, I think it's, what, an 800-foot elevation gain?
Yeah. So I'm sure it has to level off some in order to do that. Because that's not very much elevation gain. Look at this.
Oh yeah, they used to have a pamphlet that had information that corresponded to these markers and would tell you different bits of information along the trail. I don't know why they stopped doing that.
No, probably to save on paper or something,
Yeah,
or
maybe.
people throwing them all over the place. It's just so beautiful. It's about 70 degrees today, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit over that. A little bit warmer going up the hill,
Yeah.
but at least we're in the shade. This would be not too comfortable if it were in the open sunshine. And incidentally, we're taking the road up and the trail back, which is a counterclockwise route. And many people understand that if you take the counterclockwise route that you can maybe escape the fog marine layer and everything that'll burn off in the later afternoon when you're on your way down the trail. So that's what we're gonna do. Some of these trees are hundreds of years old. So they were certainly here for a lot of the earlier people and explorers. And I bet this one right here was here when William Clark walked through this area. Really big trees. Usually in this area you'll find Douglas fir, western red cedar, Sitka spruce, maybe even some hemlock. Of course, you've got other types of undergrowth in here too. Elderberry, sword fern, a bunch of salmon berries that have come and gone. I wish you could see how big that tree really is. I'd say the base is about half the length of a Volkswagen. Little Beetle, Volkswagen Beetle. Pretty big. I normally don't have too much problem going uphill, and I'll say I'm not really having that much now, other than I'm a little overheated and I'm coming out of this shirt. I didn't know what to expect, so I wore an outer shirt over a t-shirt, so I'm going to take this off and get myself cooled down a little bit. That's much better. I feel a little bit cooler, but the thing that I felt immediately also is mosquitoes. A lot of mosquitoes, huh?
Yeah, so we gotta keep moving.
Yeah, so we're gonna get going, and we'll probably be opening the pack again, trying to find some repellent.
Yeah.
I know I got some somewhere. Yeah, I think trekking poles might be a good option for some people on this
Yeah,
trail.
it is pretty steep. Also, lots of water, because even though it's not that warm temperature-wise, when you're climbing like this, you really get thirsty.
You're gonna hike this trail, especially on this road, you will be going uphill for the bulk of that 1.25 miles to hiker's camp. It is pretty much straight up. I mean, it does level off here and there, because like Susan said, it's only an 800-foot elevation gain.
I think that's what I read.
Look at this thing. This is a massive tree that's fallen down at one point across this trail, because there's the other part over here.
Yep.
But it's now a nursery log for a lot of small things like these red huckleberries and sword fern, some salal, there's even some fungi up there. Thing is massive. How you doing back there?
A little slow,
Yeah.
one step at a time.
Yeah, we're on that grade still. We're probably a mile in. Not much further to go to the hiker's camp. Well, we flattened out, and it's cooled off for a couple reasons. One, because we flattened out. And two, we're up here in the breeze now. A lot of evaporative cooling going on for sure. I'm just in my drenched t-shirt now, so. Fortunately, in my pack, I have my other shirt as well as an emergency pullover, so. All right, so it says we're just right up here is the hiker's camp, and then that viewpoint that we talked about where you could look at the Tillamook Lighthouse is 1/8 of a mile from here. And so there's actually a vault toilet up there.
How nice.
Welcome to Hiker's Camp. A short trail to the west takes you to a view of Tillamook Rock Lighthouse. To the northeast, Tillamook Head Trail continues up through the spruce and hemlock forest to the summit, then down to a trailhead north of Seaside. William Clark recorded his impressions of the forest after his trek here from Fort Clatsop in January 1806. While most of the trees were about 100 years old, Clark recorded seeing some older, larger trees that had survived a major natural disturbance in about 1700. Explore these trails and gather your own impressions of the forest today. We shall do that. Picnic shelter here. Place to have a fire. Looks like over there is where they used to have that honor system where you could purchase firewood. There's none there now, and the little honor system thing's been taken out. Let's take a look at these cabin shelters. There's 3 of them and a communal fire pit. And so it's going to be very dark in here. At least one of them's got a weather shade still left on it. People have their tiki torches and stuff, but they're rustic
Very rustic.
cabins. Yeah, look at this one over here. And on the top, it's so nice way all the moss and ferns and everything are growing on them, but I'd say they're quite spacious. I mean, they don't look exceptionally comforting or anything, but I mean, I'm sure there's mice in here, much like there would be on other trails within their shelters, but pretty neat, huh?
Yeah.
We're taking the 8th mile spur trail out of the hikers camp, heading west to a viewpoint of the lighthouse.
Yeah, this lighthouse was the most expensive and probably most dangerous lighthouse ever built on the west coast. It's 1.5 miles out at sea. And in fact, the first person that they hired to build it went out to survey and slipped on a rock and was swept out to sea. So
Dangerous.
It didn't get off to a very good start.
Looks like we're approaching now. I can see the ocean. Because of the extreme weather here and how formidable it is to approach this lighthouse has the nickname Terrible Tilly. Wow. What a view. Look at this.
Oh, wow. So the lighthouse sits on a rock that's a little less than an acre. It's the only privately owned rock on the Oregon coast. When the lighthouse was decommissioned in 1957, it was purchased by private buyers with the hope of turning it into a columbarium, which is a place where people can pay to have their loved ones' ashes laid to rest. Unfortunately, only 31 people did so before they got entangled in some legal battles and their license was revoked. The woman that owns it now is 77 years old, and I saw that she's recently posted it for sale.
How much?
Only $6.5 million.
Oh.
You can own a rock on the Oregon coast.
Yeah, we'll have some left over for something else, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, what a view, though. Let's take a
Yeah.
look down here, off the side here. Oh, it is stunning down there. There's a beach down there and everything. So gorgeous.
Oh, that is beautiful. The color of the water.
This is part of the World War II radar station that was here. So we can go around and get a good look at it. So they had to build this thing out of materials other than metal, so non-metal things like concrete and wood and that sort of thing so that it wouldn't interfere with radar. Of course, the state has iron welded here now to keep people from going in there and hurting themselves, but this is part of the top of the underground system. You can see some of the vents here, different pillars over there, a whole system of stuff in here.
Yeah, at one time there was about 100 men stationed up here, so all of their living quarters and everything had to be built out of non-metal as well.
Yeah, can you imagine the weather that must have came in here? That road that we walked up on was a military road. We're gonna go back via the trail.
Hearts worth falling for. Oh, and with open arms I'll carry yours. will rise. I'll be there when you need me. With every tear that falls from your eyes, oh, you have me completely. I'll be there I'll be there when you need me. Trust, it builds a home, and ours is a sacred place where we both belong. Faith, a planted tree. Oh, and it's grown its roots under you and me. As long as
We made it back to Indian Beach. It was a short hike, but we really enjoyed it. Comment and let us know what you thought of the Clatsop Loop Trail.
And please remember to share, subscribe, and click on that little notification bell.
Thanks for watching.